Lilly is excited to see Sharwyn again. In fact, they may even have cause to celebrate again. Her mistress being the new proud owner of the Lady Don't Care, an equally exciting beast ball. In fact, maybe even just for Little Red, they can add hot bites to the menu. Lilly can't wait to see the delicious smile that would put on the rusty raconteur's face. But Lilly doesn't want to appear too anxious for their reunion. She coolly walks towards the room and acknowledges Sharwyn with a smile, though her pink eyes betray her excitement. She stores the adamantine away and takes out the Sluth to surprise Little Red with later. The Gauntlet Championship Award, appropriately enough, gets thrown into the junk drawer. Lilly then sits at the edge of the bed and takes out the scrolls given her by Fenthick earlier and proceeds to study them. Alright, Lilly already gaining a new level. I believe she's going to be 5th level now. And just continue maximizing class skills for spellcraft, lore, concentration, plus non-class skills for appraise, and saving these points, and persuade. Yeah, we have 2 more points left over. Which, boy. You know what? I think maybe put this into tumble. She's been running around a lot. Might help her avoid attacks of opportunity when she's typically trying to maneuver away from the enemy. This might help. Just a little bit. Because we'll only get this probably every, whatever that is, every 4 levels. It's not going to go up by much. Alright. Alright. Feats. Spell penetration. She doesn't want to depend on Meldon and staff for this. So, she'll be free to sell it, even though I think she's going to hold on to it for a light source for the time being. Okay? 2 spells at 3rd level. Yeah. Summon creature 3. I believe she already has a scroll for Flame Arrow. This would be good maybe for counterspelling. Haven't really had a chance to even try that yet. You know what? A good utility spell. I think we'll try it. Yeah, I think we'll try it. Spell magic. Alright, bones leveling up. That's it. Average hit points, that's good. Better than 1. Lilly also learns another new spell, Flame Arrow. She then sets about organizing her spellbook, which is coming along quite nicely. It's already at 85 pages and worth over 11,000 gold. In fact, she'll need to visit a stationer soon to order a new one, as the current binding will only accommodate up to 100 pages. She only hopes she can get another wolf's hide cover. Speaking of which, her new creature summoning spell will grant her just that. A dire wolf, to be her faithful and loyal servant against its will. Nothing could please her more, as evidenced by the depth her nails have embedded themselves into the hide cover. Finally, Lilly has time for Little Red, She wonders if she's noticed her new amulet. Probably not.
I suspected you'd show up here soon. I'm glad to see I was right. So, shall we join up once more?
Alright, Lilly taking Sharwyn back into the company. Lilly goes on to tell Sharwyn about everything that's happened except about winning the tavern. She describes the Uthgardt barbarian and how his tribe hunts orc in tiger costumes, and how Loxar must have killed all the cooks in Blacklake because nobody left alive seems to know how to, and about nasty pipe-smoking women. Cause for both to laugh a while. At length, Lilly hopes Sharwyn will finally continue her story from before.
Yes? Is there something you need?
Yeah, I think Lily's hoping that Sharwyn might continue her story from before. I suppose I did offer to tell you about my family, didn't I? Very well then, Lilly. I'll tell you. By my family, I actually mean my mother. She's the only true family I've ever known. I never met my father. He and my mother parted ways before I was born. Mother was an adventurer, you see. A mage, in fact, of some skill. This is what other people have told me, however, as Mother would never discuss it. She left that life behind, along with my father, to marry a man of wealth. It sounds as if she disapproves. Perhaps not now, but I didn't know any better then. My mother considered her past nonsense, as she had much more important things to think about. My mother wanted wealth. She wanted to live a life of fine jewelry, of carriage rides, and a fine mansion in Blacklake. Her husband was a means to an end. Well, I think Lilly can relate to some of that. She left behind her magic and instead spent her life spending money. Far more money than my stepfather could ever afford. She didn't care a whit for his complaints so long as he kept providing her coin. When he died unexpectedly, she was devastated. Not because he was gone, but because he left behind a mountain of debts. She was terrified at the thought of being poor. Asking if she returned to her magic. Certainly not. My mother had left that behind after all. Once you've lived a life of luxury, it's difficult to believe that anything exists beyond it anymore. She formed a desperate plan. Although she rarely saw me when I was a child, now she had need of me. I was a comely young woman, and she would see me wed to a wealthy bachelor. Not for my benefit, of course, but for her own. I was so meek and accustomed to being ruled by her, I couldn't even conceive of an objection. My mother had her eye on the young Lord Farthington. He would never stoop to marry poor nobility, however, not unless he desired me. I would have to seduce him. I'm asking if she did. I had intended to. I went to Lord Farthington's estate to attend a party being held in his honor, my mother meeting us to meet. When we arrived, I was awestruck at the size of the hall. There were so many people dancing I could barely take it all in, and the music was so beautiful. I stepped onto the floor and approached the man my mother pointed out. I was very nervous, but the man was handsome and kind and witty. I fell in love with him immediately. I think Lily's beginning to dislike this story. My mother grabbed me away from him angrily not long later. I had mistaken her directions. It was not Lord Farthington I had danced with after all. It was far too late for my heart, however. Asking who this man was. His name was Danon, a penniless apprentice bard in the service of Lord Farthington. I was utterly in love with him. My mother told me to forget all about him. I couldn't, however, despite the possibility that we might lose everything. Asking what happened next. I had a choice, obviously. Take the path I was expected to and seduce Lord Farthington, or run off with the penniless bard. I should have done one or the other. As it turned out, I made a mess of everything. Being a young fool, I suppose that could be expected. I'll tell you what happened sometime later, perhaps. Let's just continue on with what we're doing, shall we? Lily's eyes narrow and darken, hearing of Little Red in love with an impoverished bard. She can only hope that the rest of the story will reveal that Sharwyn's mother arranged for his murder. That's what she would have done, which worries her too. She's afraid Little Red might see properties of her mother and her mistress. Properties she doesn't like. No matter. Lily puts on a smile, breaks out the Sluth, and announces the grand opening of the Lady Don't Care. The rusty raconteur congratulates her mistress and sticks her tongue out at the less than stellar dry sparkling white. Little Red lets out a squeal when her mistress announces they'll be putting hot bites on the menu as well. They talk throughout the afternoon, or rather Little Red does, Lily simply admiring her precious smile. One thing Lily hadn't considered, though, was the competition. The Shining Serpent Inn also offers hot bites. Clearly, she'll have to do something about that. She's killed one cook already for a meaningless earn. She'll have no qualms about putting a dozen more down to ensure the only place to get hot bites in the city of Neverwinter is at the Lady Don't Care.